Okay. I think are we good? We allegedly good? I think we're good. Uh, we're gonna try to draw some more knives today because I just don't know what else to do. And I got the time. Well, not too much time. There's a little bit of time. We'll see how it goes. Probably gonna be like an hour or so. I should have prepared a knife. I should have pre-got it, right? I should have pre-readied it. What is this? Death row pictures. Can you even see that? Hold on. There you go. It's in plastic, apparently. I don't know why that's over here. I don't know why I'm freaking out. What was that? Where's my phone going off? Everything's going wrong? Um, as is tradition. Alright. So here's the deal. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Um, whip. I was thinking we'd go fixed blade this time. I don't know what I did with the one I was gonna do. It needed to fit on the desk. So we're not going fixed blade. Thought I had it. I knew I didn't have it like ready, but I thought I had it ready enough. Okay. Nah, no protect, no protect. These are the same things. You know what? I like it there. I like hot dog and donut, dude. Duck buddy. Uh, am I stupid? Guess I'm stupid. All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on over there. We're gonna do the cold steel SRKC, and I'm gonna try and do both the sheath, the Kydex sheath, and the knife. I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but we're gonna do it. Question is, how do I do it? Because this is much longer. The other ones would technically have fit in the canvas. But this is like huge, so I'm gonna have to work on scaling. Right? I mean, this isn't huge. This is the compact version. There's a bigger version. Um, but I'm thinking we're obviously gonna have to do that, right? Right? So I'm thinking we just draw this like normal. And then we draw the sheath. Like the same direction. But we're gonna have to draw a little higher up than what we're used to. Now, somehow I am on this red color again, and I don't know how, why, or where, or when. It's too steep. Well, I don't know what that is. Code dumpy, apparently. Enjoy that. What did I press space? Let's just go to my profile where something else wild shows up. I don't know what that was for. I'm assuming gamer subs or something. It's usually where the wild ass codes and pictures come from. Everybody got a gamer subs partnership but me. I did apply. I didn't think they'd accept me. I did expect at least them to say that they don't accept me though. You know? Like I expected a generic rejection email. Okay. Is that wrong of me? You think that's too much to ask for? I mean, I feel like they've had creators not significantly larger than us. who have like gotten their own partnerships and codes. But I think the difference is those creators are like the artists and or associated with creators who are already partnered. So like on the one hand, it kind of looks like they don't care, but on the other hand, I think the only reason a lot of them get picked is because they know so and so, right? Who's already partnered, which is fine. Like I get it. And once again, I wouldn't really say I necessarily expected anything out of it. How did I mess this up so bad? That is not a clip point. It's a reverse Tonto. How did I do that? Am I stupid? Also, it's really bothering me that like everything on my desk is crooked, but there's just no way to fix it. um okay. We'll keep going with that, but not too far. It's actually probably good enough now that I'm looking at it. I think I should draw that first. So it starts slightly before there and goes all the way to the tip. I'm about to cough. Sorry about that. Also, I don't know what it is. I kind of feel like I'm a Ninja Turtle like this. You. Okay. So this just kind of comes to a slight curve. It kind of follows the curvature of the blade edge. It's probably to maintain like equidistance, if you will. Okay, I mean that gives it a little more of the clippy shape. I feel like I need maybe a little. I don't think I can do it without redrawing the whole line, can I? And I'm not going to redraw the whole line, so let's actually just leave her be. That does look a little more like a clip point. I think I need to move the... Actually, no. No. Maybe need to exaggerate the tip a little more. SRKC. I believe search and rescue. I think that's what it stands for. Is that SRK? And the C is for compact. Trying to think. I believe this one came pre-done, but I think there's some sheets where you have to make them yourself, and it's sometimes a pain in the ass. Okay. So, okay. Let's do this first. Fuck, it's not letting me do that. Not even letting me wiggle, man. Do that. Let's move that. And let's move it up a little bit too. Which is I think that's gonna prove to be a mistake. But I think if I don't do that, then I'm gonna have to can you move two layers at once? I'm gonna have to realign the layers after moving them. Is that can I do two at one time? Does anyone know? I say that like anyone's here. Nobody's here. Nobody watches this shit. I'm not sure how I managed to find something to do. that is even less popular than my terrible gaming. But we've done it. We've done it. I think I've only got 2 weeks of pre-recorded Icarus up or coming. So I gotta record some more of that probably today, which is not gonna go that well because it's been like half a week since I last played. Also, it has fallen off significantly in popularity. I think right now everybody is just watching Hytale. I kind of want to play Hytale, but I kind of don't. I don't know. Like, it doesn't not look fun, but it also looks so much like a Minecraft knockoff that I feel like it's just going to make me want to play Minecraft instead of itself. And I know a lot of people are really enjoying it, and that's fine. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to enjoy it like that. I mean, I think history shows that even games I don't really like, I will just full commit to, right? If everyone else would rather play it than what I want to do. And in some cases, I can even like, I mean, let's be honest, I wasn't not interested in Final Fantasy. I just knew it was going to be a major fucking time commitment for us. And that once I got started, it was quite expensive, right? And I was going to be in it basically for the foreseeable future, uh, which I, am now. And I haven't really played it since we stopped playing, but I kind of want to. The thing is, there's nothing really to do in there once you're done with the main story, unless you are really, really into cosmetics, which I'm not. Um, so it's really not paying off for me. I do kind of want to do maybe other classes, I guess. Maybe I'll do those class quests. But the thing with that is, if ever we play again, or if we play with someone who hasn't played before, I feel like I'm just going to want to do the same character. And I want to leave some classes available to be able to play that with them. That way, I have my level 1 paladin, and I can play that with someone who's starting their brand new character. And they can also not worry about whether or not they leave me behind, because maybe I'll have my level 30 astrologian, right? And it can just be at any time, at any moment. We can chill, and of course, I can always just like level sync down like my tanks and stuff. So I think every tank except paladin has been leveled a little. If anyone's wondering what this is, it's a lanyard hole. So what you do is put a rope through there. These days, it's gonna probably be paracord. 550 paracord, I think, is the standard. But you can also do leather. A lot of mine have leather in them because I prefer leather. It's technically not as strong, but it looks cooler. Uh, Paracord. Hold on. Where's my other paracord? There it is. So paracord is nylon. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, nylon. So this is black. This is orange that apparently I need to roll up. Now I find this to be kind of a pain in the ass because, as you can see at this frayed edge here, uh, it's like nylon, right? So you have to melt this. Do I have a knife with paracord on it? You have to melt this so that it stops fraying. Now, a lot of people will say it's fantastic, especially if you're using it as an outdoors thing, because you can actually open it up, right? And you have these extra strands, and you can use them as fishing line, or you can actually kind of light these, like help start a fire. In my experience, it just melts. It doesn't, I mean, I guess it could stay hot. If anything, you can maybe Don't quote me on this. Don't try this. You can maybe use it to seal a wound. Like if you hold it closed and it'll kind of be like a plastic wax, it'll definitely burn you. But I mean, if it's the difference between a gaping open wound, that might be better. I don't really know. Um, but it is quite strong. Um, people you use it to like climb things. Like it's just rope, but made out of nylon. Um, I have to roll that back up. This is also paracord. This is a different spec that I don't really use because it's a huge pain in the ass, and it kind of honestly hurts because it's just too thin. But it is actually very, very strong. What does it say what this weight, I guess, is? Call it nano cord. 300 feet of 932 inch, 36 pounds. I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. I don't know my ratings. I may be used to. This is just leather. They call it craft lace. You can use this as a shoelace, which you can also do with paracord, by the way. This is usually why I use this for like lanyards around my neck for like work IDs. I use this to be able to like tie things together. I use it. I mean, you could use it as replacement shoelaces. Use it on the back of a lot of knives. It's so good, so good. Uh, do I have do I have a knife that uses either and or both? Hold on. I definitely do. I just don't know where they are at this moment. All right. You'd think I'd get a folding knife. That's concerning. Hold on. Think we're good. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. So, I'm guessing first off, what was concerning was this one's sheath somehow came off. I left it on the ground when I picked it up, and I just poked myself with it. We're good though, so I'm pretty sure we're good. I don't see any blood. Um, this is something you can do with paracord, right? So this one's green, obviously, but you can wrap a bare handle with it, or a lot of things. It doesn't have to be on a knife. And then, of course, you would have this loose extra so that if you're using it, oh, and you dropped it, oh, well, you didn't drop it and lose it, right? So it's for security. I keep forgetting how deep in that looks. Sorry about that. So you can do something like that. Um, you can do something like this, right? So this one has the orange where it adds like a little bit of extra space for you to grab, letting you, if you say you have a bigger hand than the handle, but you prefer generally smaller knives, it lets you pull them out of your sheath more safely or your pocket. So this one doesn't have the handle thing going on, but you could do that. This is one with leather, right? I think I showed this the other day. This is that Boker Boxer, right? And again, you can use that to pull it out of your sheath, without any trouble whatsoever. Let's say maybe probably wouldn't really happen on this, but maybe you can't get like a good grip here because I've tied like a knot on the end here. There's kind of something to easily pull on and like get my fingers around because there's like changes in the depth. So once again, it would allow you to do that very simply. This one is, I don't even think I actually finished tying this one up. I think I saw somebody's cosplay. I don't remember whose, and I just tied this very loosely to match it, but You can do that in general, and you can tie in like people will tie in like fish hooks for fishing line. They'll, so they can fish. They'll tie in matches. Um, they'll tie in or tie on a fire starter, especially on a Moriniv with like a very flat spine. Some of them don't have flat spines; they're unfinished. This is what is this one? Do I remember the name? I don't remember the name of it. Um, but some of them don't have an unfinished, or yeah, don't have a finished spine, which will make it harder to scrape a fire starting steel. Which I'm pretty sure it's flint, not steel. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they make them out of. Uh, but the point being, you can like tie things under it or into it, in different ways. We'll put this one. Actually, we'll just keep piling them up. We can move them in a sec. Uh, once again, I just tied this one so that I could grab it easier out of the sheath because it sits in there a little deep. Here's another one that I tied. This one actually broke. So it used to be looped around, and this was supposed to be a handle. And then I retied it so that it is just like that. Uh, the way something like that could break is, say, it's too big, it gets caught on the blade when you pull it in or out or something like that. And as you can see, you can also tie your sheaths to it. So now you have a neck knife if you want to hang it from your neck. But that's what those holes are for on them. Jesus Christ! Now I have a fucking pile here. All right, forget it. Let's keep going. Let's draw the sheath. Let's draw the sheath. Now the good part about this is I can just hold it like this, and I don't need to have the knife on the table. I should finish drawing this. I feel like we want a little bit of depth to the lanyard hole, right? I keep clicking the fucking button, dude. Get out of here. Well, that's good enough for me. How would you draw these bumps, like realistically? I feel like you couldn't, could you? Maybe draw like a line and then copy paste it. I know in a lot of anime these days, what I'll see is, let's say it's like a school uniform, they'll have their pants or their skirt and they'll be plaid. And they'll have the plaid design and it'll basically be green screened over it. And so the design changes position all throughout, but like it kind of gives the effect. So like we'll call this green screened. This is the pattern, right? There's just like a line, we'll call it. And let's just say it moves, the line stays where it was. Like the pattern stays where it was, but like the character moves. And so the pattern changes its position on the item. It's very interesting. It's a good way to do it. I do feel like as much as it's anime and you kind of can't be that immersed, right? Because of course it's not real life. I feel like it really breaks my like. I think what it is it catches my eye. Like I notice it just right away because it's so obvious that, again, as much as you can break immersion in an anime, I guess, I think it breaks my immersion in the story. I just used thinking about it, it's been quite a while since I've seen like a slice of life type anime. It's been like all isekai and like high fantasy lately. Um but it doesn't have to necessarily be a school uniform type deal. Well, okay. We're just going to draw around it because we're lazy. Now, if I were smart, what I would have and could have done is I actually probably could draw this entirely separate on one of these and then have it do the duplicate thing, because this is relatively, like, the base shape of it is relatively the same, and then like add finer details later. Now this one happens to be custom to this knife, not because I made it custom, but because the manufacturer did. And so you can see it's a one-way fit, right? The blade shape is built in. And so they were able to curve this as well, and so it fits a little better. The downside to that is this is the only knife it will fit. The upside to that is this is the knife it will fit, right? And it fits it very well. So it fits it better. This, for example, is technically built for this knife. It's been in this knife, like this knife has been in here for so very long that it's shaped like it. But I believe the reality is it's made almost identical to this one. And you're probably thinking, well, aren't those the same? They're not. They actually have different blade shapes. But the reality is I could, in theory, probably just fit that in there. Because they're not really made specifically for either one knife. It just so happens that they were made and then put around this. And so it's shaped very, very well like this knife. But you know, it doesn't actually have to fit it. Similarly for this, this one is quite shaped well for this, but I can almost certainly fit this in this, right? And it actually fits pretty snugly. You know, you can pretty regularly get like, I guess a universal is what I'll call them, universal sheaths. Um, Also, if you were wondering, so this would hang off your belt, something like that. You don't necessarily have to go down your belt, but it would be up and down, so you kind of draw it like, I guess like a lot of people would draw maybe a pistol, like an old Western pistol. Could you rig it up, especially this one is on the tighter end? You could probably like put this on a strap and then like strap this part up or something. Um, But this one is rigged for what they call scout carrying. So you can have it either upside down on one side, right? And you just pull it out. Or you can have it upside down on the other side. Or you can have it so that it's like facing forward so you reach across, right? Or you can put it on like a backpack sleeve and you can reach across and pull it. Same thing, scout carry. This is one of those Kydex ones, which is like a laminated plastic or something, I guess. I don't really know. Thermoplastic. So this one comes with like the belt loop thing. Um, Technically, I can undo this. I think it might loosen this in general a bit though. Uh, I would be able to tighten it down. Um, but I could change the position so that it sits lower or higher. I can leave it so it just stays strapped because that's where this part is. And I think that's what I would do. And then you can tie things through here. You can maybe get a separate piece and so you can carry it maybe, you know, front to back like the other ones, or, you know, strap it, you know, put some like straps so it sits on like a backpack arm. There's a lot of shit you can do with these. Getting fucking leather pieces everywhere. What am I doing? I'm sneezing is what I'm doing. Wait, was it the leather piece? Am I freaking out? Okay. I'm holding it backwards, by the way, because I kind of want it to match the way I drew it. It would have been easier if I drew it the other way. But you know what? Next knife we'll draw it the other way, or we'll try to. But I've been drawing them all backwards, mostly because I'm thinking about like being right-handed and how it, I don't know, in my head just works. I say we do another layer. Wait a minute. Can I... How do I... Can I copy a layer? Copy. So now... Let's change... No, let's do it from here. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Tools? No. Image. Edit. Paste. And then... Am I a genius? So now we'll just... I mean, I think realistically, yeah, you do kind of still have that. But then we just kind of... Am I a fucking... Like, what am I doing? Has there ever actually been anyone as smart as me? Like, it's fucking concerning. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. Bro, I think I'm a genius. Okay, so let's do another layer. I'm a genius. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ, dude. This is so fucking bad. Oh my God. Please. Here's what I should be doing. I should just use the oval tool. And then copy and paste that multiple times so that it matches. Here's what I'm not doing. That. Fuck, dude. So obviously I drew it without this thing. I think I'm gonna just leave it there. Because I mean, this is just like a series of rectangles. I feel like that would kind of... Would add extra layers to do though. But then I wouldn't be able to see that. And that's kind of why I wanted to leave it. What if we just pretend? We'll do another layer. We'll pretend that we're neck knifing this, which is an absurd fucking knife to neck knife, by the way. Neck knives are usually relatively small. Now, I want to be clear. I would certainly never use a knife this heavy like that. if I did, I would definitely use probably more than all four. I would probably go like, what I would probably do is I would start here, like a loop. So it would, how do I do this? All right. We would come in one side, out the other, come in one side, out the other, right? Then come up through these. I guess you would start here so that it comes through here, right? And then like cross over, come up, and then cross over again and go up, and then like come up from these. That way you have like several, I guess, sort of not very sharp angles to share the load. And like the weight would more be stressed on the kydex than in tight angles. Um, there you go. Let's see how this would be done. So maybe up, through. This doesn't work with not cut shit. All right, hold on. Where's the lemon? I think what I would do is I would cut it first. So I'd cut as much as I think I need, and then a little more because we can always cut it down. Um, and then just do some symmetry because like this, it's gonna end up not quite symmetrical. But like I would do something like that so that there's this level of security on the back, there's that, then we'd fold up and over to these, right? And that would share like the burden and the stress across each one so that you'd have like levels of security as well. If say it ripped here, you would hopefully have the pressure and tightness of this to hold it together long enough for you to address that. Anyway, I'm not going to go all the way through with it because I don't really want to do that. Because I'm not going to use it as a neck knife. You'd be an idiot. Okay. Let's clear the fucking desk. Let's leave this out because we did draw this one for now. Let's get these out of here. Get these out of here. Although I did say I was gonna draw another fixie. Maybe we should do something else. All right. When we drew our first knife on stream, I showed the drawing of this. This was from our tablet. This is one of the. This is I think the first knife I did draw. So this is a T-Rex. I believe it's called that because the head kind of looks like a T-Rex here. Right? Like there's the eye. There's like the nose. It's a very small knife. Oh, didn't do that hard enough. This one does happen to have problems locking up. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. I think we're gonna draw this. Next time we draw a fixed blade, though, we'll draw it the other way. Actually, let's draw this the other way because that'll give us a pocket clip and the relief bar here for the integral Chris Reeve integral lock. Frame lock is what most people call it these days. I don't think he technically like he invented it or whatever, Chris Reeves. Let us save this. PNG, please. We have got to change that. Come on, come on, come on. SRK C. Hey, all right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. Ah, fuck. No, I should do it the other way because I'm gonna have to draw this fucking T-Rex, bro. That's not gonna go well. You see him? You see my boy? There's no chance I can draw that well. I was waiting for it to fucking focus in, but I just couldn't get it. Do we draw the lanyard? This has a bead on it. The bead's titanium. This thing is brass. God, I hate the way fucking brass smells. It looks so good all the time, but fuck, it doesn't stink. Same with copper. I love copper. I love the way it looks. I hate the way it smells. My understanding is they smell the way they do because they're generally like naturally antimicrobial. So what happens is you touch it. You don't have to touch it, I guess, but like something touches it, bacteria gets on it, but it dies. Like the little microbes die. And so you're smelling like millions of microbe corpses rotting because of the reaction, I guess. And that as well, their corpses uh help oxidize it, right? They help bring oxygen to the surface of it and it reacts, which is why it'll tarnish and change colors. Um and again, if you hold like copper, especially, it's a little less so with brass. Brass does tarnish. It does offer a little bit of green because it's copper. It's a copper alloy. Um, but copper will turn green because of like salt, because of the salts in like your hand. And some people will do something called shipwrecking, and they will put a piece of copper in ammonium salts to speed it up. They'll put it in like a bathtub with that and some water, I believe, and that will like make it look like an old shipwreck, right? The copper will turn very blue, like think Statue of Liberty blue. Do I have? I don't think I own anything shipwrecked. I've always wanted to do it, but I just never could justify buying like a tub of ammonium salt, using something to make it, and then like I think the way you should do it is you should then cover it in um either epoxy or like a clear coat so that it stops being oxidized, because it will continue to change color. Like if you use normal copper long enough, it will turn to green irrespective of whether or not you do this process. But this process speeds it up and it will continue to change. But if you seal it off in like an epoxy or a clear coat of some sort and just like reapply that every so often, um, you could probably cover it in like nail polish. But there'll be a couple problems with this. Um, do I have one at the ready to grab? Please tell me there's copper in here. No. Why don't I own any copper knives? I own a lot of copper knives. Also, what the fuck are these? Oh, these are the extras from the last thing. Oh, I did have. Oh no, that's not a bad one. What am I doing? What am I doing? Wait, this is empty? Hello? Don't mind if I do. Alright, we're gonna check one more. If this one ain't copper, we're giving up. But there is a problem with this Strat 4. Copper skin. Oh, this is last year's. Well, I guess the year before's. Whatchamacallit. Advent calendar. Alright, we're gonna check one more. Yo, I might be stupid. Wait, what knife is this? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Okay, we're gonna check one more because this one's heavy. That's gotta be copper, right? Anyway, it's not copper. What the fuck? Oh, this is the year before's. No way. I think that's the first year's. Dude, that's so cool. Okay. Alright, forget all the copper talk. But apparently I'm a fucking moron. So don't forget it. Alright, here's the problem with doing it. Um, what you would do is you would put nail polish around the pivot on the inside and like on the inside of the scale, I mean. And you'd have to put that then in acetone to remove it, most likely. I don't know, you can probably nail polish remover it out, but you're gonna have to scrub. Um, because you cannot have if it's an inside ring of copper that like interacts with the blade or with any screw holes or anything, if those begin to corrode, that could change the shape and thereby ruin either the open and closing action. It could ruin like the stability of the the holes and like where maybe they interact with the screw, thereby either making the screw not fit properly, too loose and falls out, or wiggles. Um, you typically don't get like a frame lock, by the way, made out of copper. It would be too soft. But like I said, if you have like a show scale, I was really hoping to get one to show. Come on, I gotta have one. I swear I did. How do I not have one here? All right, this guy for sure is it. Wait, it actually is. Wait. It's not. It's fucking not. Are you? Whoa, where did I get this knife from? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, this is not it either. But look at this fucking chunky little guy. Dude, look at that dude. So chunky. He's just a little guy. Just a little guy. Get your ass back in there. I needed to reorganize this shit anyway, so we're gonna find this one way or another. Definitely not even. Dude, what a cool knife. Alright, get that out of here. Get that. Alright, it's gotta be this dude, right? Watch this be one I already opened. There's no way, right? Bro, what is going on? I used to use these like all the time. How do I not know where they are? Okay. This is not it. Dude, I'm losing it. How is this possible? What knife even is this? I know what knives they are. It's just I'm so confused where I fucking put it. Running out of bags, it could be. So it's got to be this one then. That's brass. Why do I need visual aids? Scale. I literally just put this one back in. Then this is the last one it could be. But it's not. What? No, this is the last one. Okay. And it is also not. What? Wait, what? Huh? Oh my god, it was this one. All right. We finally have something. First off, tarnished copper. I'm so sorry. Stop fucking wonking up my goddamn tracking. Is it gonna show it? Wow, I didn't realize the stream was that far behind. Um, So this is tarnished copper. It's kind of hard to see. So this is like a full copper scale. Do I have a light? Hey, give me light. Give me light. Hello. All right. You look in there. You can see there's no inside lining. I hope you can see. It's very hard to do this at an angle where I can't really see exactly what's going on. Um, Basically, there's no inside liner. Now this is bushings, I believe, which are brass. In this case, I believe they're brass washers. They're just brass washers, not like bearings. Some knives do have bearings. That interacts with the blade of the knife, which then interacts with the scale. I don't recall if this has another piece in there, but basically the way it is there is scale, then that bushing. Sometimes there's another like metal plate between those two or a plastic one, and then the blade, and then, repeat on the other side. So scale, one or two pieces of plastic or metal, blade, one or two pieces of plastic or metal. Uh, Potentially, it could be ceramic ball bearings or metal ball bearings caged inside of a piece of metal, which is usually brass, and then the side. Um, so, if say I were to have shipwrecked this, that inside piece, if I didn't cover it, could have ended up corroded and bumpy. And if say this was caged balls, caged ball bearings, every time those balls went over a bump, it would potentially be all bumpy and corroded, and it would also potentially be chipping off pieces and making it feel all gritty. It would probably introduce a lot of wiggle. It would be a little better with washers, which I believe this does have, um, but it would basically reduce the usable lifespan of the knife. Um, Here's another one. This one's copper on both sides. This will be a great example. Where's my little flashlight? All right. You can see the difference where my skin has touched, and then under the pocket clip or inside even. It's a lot cleaner looking. Right? You can see it's kind of turning grayish green on the scales, and it's like way less interacted with under, because that's just not where your hand goes. And once again, I think this one actually has plastic washers, so I was very annoyed at that. But once again, if you were to have purposefully corroded like any of these areas, you could have introduced like flaws and problems with that. Um, which is why you generally don't want to do it without like all the proper prep. And I just don't really want to do something like that. It's such a waste of time. We should draw this one. This one would be pretty good, because while it is a lot of like relatively straight lines, there's a lot of major little things to do in it. Anyway, I've been putting this off. Let's speed sketch this now, I guess. I'm not gonna draw the the milling patterns or any of the rock, I guess, chipping patterns. We're just gonna try and get something done. Actually, let's start back here. I'm starting, I guess, with the left side. I just find it easier. And then we'll do the blade after. Fuck, no! I did the thing. I just don't understand why you can't drag a layer and put it under it. I guess what you could maybe do is copy or cut the layer and then like place new layers and then paste onto that. Is that something you could probably do? Okay. Right. So then we'll have the pocket clip roughly start there, I guess. It seems a little high, but I mean, we don't actually need things to work, so it doesn't really matter. What if I accidentally become a pocket knife designer? Thoughts? Okay, well, it's definitely not happening anytime soon. Shit. So typically, the higher quality of the knife, the smaller this gap here is, right? The gap we're drawing now. Um, and that's because it takes much more skill and precision to make a very thin working gap like this for what the part that so what happens is they have this little milling here to both add and I guess really I don't know exactly like I guess what the stress part does, but it kind of springs down and puts itself in the way of this part of the blade, right? Because it's like bent in and like tempered in such a way that that's the place it wants to return to. So when you push it back, as long as you don't push it back too far and break or bend it, which is why a lot of them will have a stop. This one does have a stop. No, that's a hardened lock insert so that it doesn't get stuck. A lot of times titanium will get stuck to steel because it's actually usually a little softer. Um, it's like I think it's like softer but tougher. So that's how it survives being bent a lot. Um, this is prevented from being bent too far back by the placement of the pocket clip. Um, but there are ones where you can bend that and basically ruin your knife. And this is to like relieve, I guess, the stress and allow it to be bent. But that does create like an easily breakable point. So that it bends in, and then you bend it back out, and like I said, it engages with the bottom of the knife to like lock it into place. Um, and it's very difficult, like I said, to basically just do like a thin, unseen line that works there, right? It's just not really possible, physically, because it needs to be able to move past, I guess, itself, right? So you can't exactly like just let it be. You can't just like make a line there. Yeah, it will technically be able to move, but it won't be able to move to such a degree. You have to like find a way to make a very thin line while still allowing it to be able to move while not allowing it to be able to move too much. It's a fine little game they gotta play. So that's why you'll see this one is pretty. I don't want to say it's bad or anything, but it's like average. It's perfectly good. Like I have no qualms with it. We'll put it that way. Do I have one? We're just gonna do a quick look. We already did a major look for the copper one, so I don't have one right away. Okay, this one's a lot thinner. And it will be relatively easy to see. Okay. So I believe these were made by a company called Riot. So this is Chavez Redemption something. So Riot is a Chinese brand, but they make basically like the best production knives. There's a couple of companies like We Knives. They have like lower ends on We Knives that aren't very great, but their high end ones are incredible. If you'll look, you can see just how much thinner that line is. Maybe a little hard to tell. Um, but right, you can, if you were far enough away, you probably wouldn't be able to really tell. So this would have required probably more precise machining than this. Let's put this little bad boy away. I wasted a lot of time on stuff we're not drawing, so I'm trying to speed talk here. Interesting that that's the one that I got. I mean, this ZT is thin around parts, but it's pretty. We had this one out yesterday. It's pretty thick around the thing. I mean, look at how poorly done the Spartan Blades one is. I mean, it did used to stick. It doesn't anymore because I forgot what I had to do to it. Um, but like, look at how imprecise that is, all things considered. You know. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's add a new layer. We're gonna draw the little Rexy. Okay. We're gonna start with that. Come out. 1, 2. Is that it? 2, 3. 1, 2. No, I did one. No, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Then we'll come down here. You can kind of see where I'm getting like stressed, I guess, with my own work, where it like I'm trying to be a little more precise, so I only have to do it once because I think it's a little harder of a spot. Um, like it gets darker there. This is such a comfortable knife to hold. It is a little fatter than I'd like to use for like everyday stuff personally, but I really like it. It's very cool. I did originally buy it thinking like with that mindset I was talking about before, where I'm like, oh, if I really don't like it, I can just sell it probably for a profit. But it is also one of those ones where I wouldn't feel comfortable selling this because I know it has trouble locking up. So I never really did even consider the idea of it. I really fucked up this little finger choil part here. But that's okay. We're good. Wait, why is my track... Bro, I'm right here. Sorry about the tracking. Dude, I'm thinking about just getting rid of the model here. What? Hello? The tracking fixed? Alright, the tracking fixed. Okay. No, I started that too soon. My bad. I think it might help if I did this one first. So that comes up a little bit. And then kind of comes down halfway. A little less than halfway, I guess, on the sharpening choil. Yeah, that helped a lot. That helped a lot. We'll just kind of draw that. And then that. I know we're kind of losing accuracy at this point. I don't think I'm too worried about it. We're just kind of having fun right now. So I believe the way this is like cut, it's supposed to like look like natural rocks or channels or something. It's cool. It's fine. I think they just take like a Dremel and like, you know. I'm definitely not drawing this milled pattern. Okay, we'll add another layer for this part. That's as good as you're gonna get. That's so much bigger than it is in real life. I honestly, I'm getting rid of that. I don't really like that. In fact, I'm not even gonna include it right now because I don't know what the fuck I would want that for. Add a new one. We're just gonna put the pivot in. I don't think I'm gonna bother with the screws, like the little Torx bit heads. Should I? You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. If I recall, our strat was just to do that anyway. That's not too bad, right? And then we have our little lanyard hole. And we'll combine them with the thing. Well, you can't really see the seam. It's because there is no seam. You know what? I think you just used a brass tube and then crushed it. Did I do the bead justice? We'll just draw like a fucking random bit. I think this is the same strategy bro used for the blade, where it's just like randomly cut to like give it facets, I guess we'll call them. I don't like it. I don't like what I did to this. I'm thinking I'm not gonna go too hard on whatever I'm drawing here. And then we're just gonna kinda, you know, that's just gonna be it. I don't want to get too crazy on it because there's a lot of overlapping lines and my skill level's not that high. You know? Let's draw the one little hole here. I don't know what that is. Is there a screw? There might be. What that probably is a screw hole for the other side. Oh, no, no. Okay, so that's the it's basically just a ceramic ball bearing that has been pressed into the inset there, and that provides like a glassy surface, a very smooth surface for the metal to interact with. so that it's nice and smooth on open and close. I don't know if there's a name for that. It is what it is. If you're wondering, this isn't integral. It's just screwed in from the inside, the pocket clip. I know it looks screwless, but it's not. You can see the screws from this side. It's like in there. I hope I got that. It's so hard to tell. Okay. Add another thing. This thing's so fucking cute, by the way. This is how you know Homer Shoe's the real one. Is this 198? 198. Yeah, there's 198 of them. It's so not good. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna give this another shot in the back here, and then we're probably done. It's good enough for me. What do we think? I think sketch-wise, I'm getting pretty good. I think we're getting to the point where I might have to really like. I think what I might do is maybe what I'll do is next time I stream, I'll sketch and then try and trace over my sketch with cleaner lines in a layer. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll sketch one day, and then the next time I'll try and trace those sketches, or at least one of them, and then like we'll progress. And so I don't think I'm gonna be ready still uh for going from like sketch to from sorry, let me take this off so it's tracking my hands. Um, going from sketch to lines to art or to color. I don't know if I'm ready for color yet, but that would be like the progression. So we'll do like a sketch, then we'll do lines, then we'll do maybe some color theory, something like this. I don't know how you would color because it's actually different colors. So there's like purples, there's blues, there's golds, there's yellows, and it shows it depending especially on the light and actually like what's on it. So like if your skin oil's like somewhere else, it gets a little darker or a little lighter. I actually really like the way this came out smaller. Like the more I zoom out, the better it looks. I wonder, so how would I do a pattern like this? Like it's got, let's do this side because it doesn't have the pocket clip. It's got like diamonds milled into it. It's very hard to tell. Fuck. Um, but like, how would I do that? I guess, hold up, let's save this. Let me put the fucking finger blasted glove back on. I guess what I would do is draw it once and then like copy and paste it. And then like keep expanding the copy and paste. So save. PNG. Okay. Yeah, I think that's how I would do it. So like new layer. No, not even new layer. I think what I might do. Can I import images? No. File. Import frames. No. Layer. Okay, so you could import a layer. So what I would probably do is make this like entirely separately, and I do it that animation style that I was talking about earlier, and I would just like have it as a layer underneath. And is it possible, is this okay, so let's say I'm on handle layer only, so that would be the very first layer we did, but the second layer. All right, so paint layer 1. If I made it so this was the only, can I make it so that this is the only layer that something shows through, so the background wouldn't show it and the layers above wouldn't show it, so the knife wouldn't be affected? Could I make it so that I make like a diamond pattern, have that all the color, and then like just have that color in there as like a layer below everything, but not shown in anything but just that one, so that I could just basically have an entire background that's that repeating. um is that possible? I feel like that would be the easiest way to do it. Similarly, I think that would be the easiest way to color this in consistently. Just have like a flat background that's like this color, like a rough grayish. This is a titanium nitride coating, I think. And then like have it only show on that. And maybe, I think, no, the hardware is different colors. This one's gold. These are like gray. But like that would be a thing. Would that work? Is that something I can do? Have only certain layers? Hold up. So if I do this, layer, locked visibility, inherit alpha. I don't know what alpha means. Color label, active channels. No. Okay, so I can change opacity. So if I, hold on. All right, we have this saved, right? Yeah. Let's just open something new. All right. So let's do that. Let's zoom out. Let's make a new layer, and then we'll make another new layer. We're going to draw a circle. Then we'll draw another new layer, and we're going to draw a circle. We're going to go back to this layer, and we're going to paint this layer entirely blue. That's not blue. I didn't change it. Okay, we're going to paint it entirely blue. Okay, so that works. How do I make it so this layer doesn't show that? No. Properties. Opacity. Filters. Now I know already. Okay. I know already. What if I lock it? No. No. That I could do something like green screen, but that doesn't work if I'm using green in other layers and whatnot. Um, that would work for this, where I happen to have like segmented colors. but it wouldn't work for what I want. That's that. Is there anything I can do here? Hold up. Isolate? Okay, well that works if I want to work on something. Opaque replace? What does this do? So let's hold on. Let's deselect. So can I do no. I can't do that. Can't wait. Maybe I can do that. What if I do that? Now if I do it, no. There we go. What if I put this layer and then change the opacity of this layer? No. There's something here. I just don't know the order to do it in. Okay, so if I start drawing, that does become orange over it. I guess. Okay. I can I take this layer style? I'm gonna have to look this up. I think there might be something here. I think if I were to, so probably the worst way to do it, but the only way I can think of right now is how I have it right now, so that this is like that. Um, and maybe I can just like shrink this canvas down or something. No, there's no way I can think of to do it. There's no way I can think of to do it because it's gonna make the whole background this color, right? You can see it's that color all around. So I can't make it so that just this is that color right now. I don't know how. I'm sure you can. I don't know how. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Um, but I think for now I'm gonna go ahead and get off for the day. I'll probably be on tonight. We'll probably be playing Ark if I had to guess. I don't really know what we're gonna be doing. Um, but thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. You know how these things go. Maybe next time I won't draw knives. I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll sketch this one, or I'll do the hard lines over this one. We'll maybe look into color theory a little bit. But we'll maybe go back to like an anime person or something, or a cat. I like cats. Uh, but thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. And until then, bye.